Hi, and welcome back to HCI's Malnutrition and Cancer series. And today I'm going to be going over Nutrition 101. We'll be talking about things such as what are carbohydrates, what are proteins, and what are fats. And we'll talk about how that looks in a healthy, balanced diet.
Let's start out with answering the basic question of what are macronutrients. All of the foods we eat are made up of one or more of the macronutrients that our bodies need to produce energy. The three macronutrients are carbohydrates, protein, and fat. Let's talk about each of these individually. Let's start with carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are biomolecules that include carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. This chemical structure makes carbohydrates an easy source of energy for our body. Carbohydrates come in two types, simple and complex. Simple carbohydrates are easily digestible and a quick source of energy. These are things like fruit, honey, and sugar. Complex carbohydrates are more slowly digested and includes fiber, which helps you feel full, helps regulate blood sugar and cholesterol, and helps with both constipation and diarrhea. See our video addressing constipation and diarrhea for more information on how fiber can help ease these symptoms. Because complex carbohydrates are more slowly digested, they are a slower source of energy for our bodies and help prevent the dreaded blood sugar crash that simple carbohydrates can sometimes cause. Carbohydrates are an important fuel source for our brains, nervous system, and muscles. Let's look at some examples of common foods that are classified as carbohydrates.
So I've got a few examples of carbohydrate foods here for you. So we've got some frozen fruit, which you can have fruit be fresh, frozen, or canned. If you're going to do canned, I would recommend that you do in water or light syrup. And here we have some frozen peaches and some frozen blueberries. They're a great option, especially for smoothies. We also have some vegetables that include, frozen cauliflower, broccoli, carrots. Those are all carbohydrate foods. Some carbohydrates that are a little bit more carbohydrate dense include things like rice. We've got some oatmeal here. Anything like whole grain bread or whole grain waffles, as we have here. And then snacks like these dried fruit bars are also a source of carbohydrates.
Let's move on to protein. Like carbohydrates and fats, which we will talk about next, proteins are biomolecules that include carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. However, unlike the other two macromolecules, proteins also include nitrogen. Instead of being used for energy, the body primarily reserves protein for other roles. However, in a time of great need, the body can use protein as a source of energy, but we really don't want that. Proteins have many important functions in the body. They are integral for body structures, hormones, and enzymes. Proteins are also important for nutrient transport, fluid balance, and immune function. Some proteins even play a role in communication throughout the body. Proteins can come from both animal and plant sources. While both sources of protein are important, animal proteins are the most bioavailable. That means that they are more easily used by the body. Protein is also the most satiating of the macronutrients, meaning that protein satisfies hunger and keeps you feeling full longer than the other macronutrients. Cancers and their various treatments increase the body's protein needs. It's important to focus on getting enough protein during your cancer journey. We talk about the body's increased protein needs during cancer treatment more in depth in the video, The Importance of Protein and Calories. On to some examples of common foods that are classified as proteins.
So you have your normal protein options such as chicken, fish, beef, or pork, but we wanted to cover a few other options as well. So a lot of your dairy products are going to be high in protein. So we have cheese, milk, and yogurt. Any yogurt is going to be high in protein, but specifically Greek yogurt will be the highest. Then you have things like beans or legumes are also a source of protein. And then you'll notice that you also have nut butters, peanut butter, and our sun butter here as well, which are also protein and fat options. And then we also have here some beef sticks, which are a great to-go option as well.
For our last macronutrient, we will talk about fat. Fat, like carbohydrates, are biomolecules that include carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Fats are insoluble in water, which means that they don't mix with water. Think about when you make a vinaigrette at home. You add some olive oil, vinegar, and some seasonings and shake it up to put it on your salad. However, if you let it sit long enough, the oil and vinegar will separate. That's because the fats, in this case olive oil, is not soluble in the water-based vinegar. Fats are also the most energy dense of the macronutrients. While carbohydrates and protein both provide 4 kilocalories per gram, fats provide 9 kilocalories per gram, so a little goes a long way. The primary function of fat is long-term energy storage and communication. Fat is also very satiating, which will help you stay full longer. So, what are some examples of foods that have this macronutrient?
Okay, so now we're going to be talking about healthy fats. Healthy fats come in a variety of different foods. Most notably, we have our oils. So we have olive oil and then avocado oil, which is really fun because it comes in 2 different ways. You have a pourable avocado oil and a sprayable avocado oil. And then nuts and seeds are a great option as well, and have a lot of really good healthy fats. As you can see here, we have walnuts, but pecans, peanuts, almonds, all of those will be really good options. I have a mixed nut butter here. If you like mixed nut butter over peanut butter and a sun butter. And then if you need a really quick snack, if you're out and about and need something really fast, there's also these great options of these snack packs, which also have dried fruit in them, which would be a carbohydrate.
There are limitless combinations of these 3 macronutrients to help satisfy your hunger and provide you with the nutrients you need. A couple of tips on how to build a healthy plate include making sure that each meal contains a source of all 3 of the macronutrients: carbohydrates, proteins, and fat. For snacks, a balance of protein and carbohydrates in the form of fiber is sufficient. An acronym that can help you remember the winning snack combination is PFF, which stands for protein, fiber, and fat. These 3 components will help you stay full longer and are especially important if you're having trouble eating or keeping food down due to side effects of cancer or cancer treatment. See our video, Navigating Nausea and Vomiting, for more tips on these issues. Something like an apple with peanut butter or cottage cheese with fruit can provide all 3 of these components. We talk in depth about the importance of protein and calories in another video, so be sure you check that out. Suffice it to say, it's important that you focus on getting enough of both during treatment.
So today we've talked about the 3 macronutrients: proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, and how that helps you build a balanced plate. And I hope this information helps you in your journey forward.